You guys have been asking for it. Here is your update on the 59 Impala. Welcome back, guys. Today we thought we would give you guys a little update on the Impala build. We have recently set out to get a new tail. In doing so, I found an NOS original tail section online, and we jumped on it within 2 hours of being posted, and that's how popular these cars are. Within those 2 hours, it was sold and gone, so I lost out. However, through calling people and their friend of a friend and so forth, we tracked down a tail. The funny part about this story is, upon arrival to Bobby over at Custom Connection in Riverside, he actually was the guy who bought the tail section that I was trying to get. And I show up there at 10 o'clock at night, and Bobby's welding this brand new tail panel into the back of the 59 that he's working on. But what he was selling was actually the one that he had cut out or found, but maybe they just didn't use it. And I kind of want to go over why this was such a good find, even though most people probably would not use it. You'll notice this thing's been hacked in a few different common areas where the cancer usually sets in, which is always around the license plate tray, and then in this area above the trunk, and the drip rail is usually gone. The reason that I thought this was super cool was that the area of this particular corner, or the bottom, if you go back on the previous video we did, we showed and we talked about when you shut the trunk, you could actually stick your hand all the way into the car because of the way the previous shop had cut and sectioned it. This one is not cut through here, and the areas that are good on our car are actually in these sections. So between the two, we can make one nice solid back tail panel, and we're not having to recreate the wheel and spend a bunch of money elsewhere. This channel up here, if you come in and look, has already been cancered out. And just to recap, this has been cut around, and that's why we had a difference on the gap from here to the trunk. So what we did to start with was we aligned the trunk to fit how we needed to fit to the back tail of the car, so we have a reference. And now that trunk is not going to move for quite a while. We are now going to start on the top sections, which we will cut and splice these two together to make one perfectly fitting panel. And then the only area that we'll have to actually make is going to be in this section, because ours is also bad, and so that one's cut out. Moving forward on the top of the fin, we've cut the top of the fin off because of all of the patchwork and cancer work, which I'll show you right now. This is the top of the tail panel. You can see that this is the car that they graphed together. This part is in great shape. The original trunk rail, drip rail as they call it, we're going to cut all this weld off and get rid of this part of the panel, and we're going to reuse this on our new panel. But if you look, we have already started making a new tail panel out of a flat piece of 20 gauge, and we've been hammer forming, flow forming this edge, which is this outer edge here, and then we had to put it on a buck. We'll get into that later, but we just kind of wanted to talk about where we are today. This, now that we have it cut off, you can actually see where when the car was at a previous shop, they had rolled it over on the ground and bent this top portion of the fin. This line that you're seeing is actually a big crease where the driver's side is tilted down and that side is in good shape. So what we'll do is we'll end up coming in here with a planishing hammer, and we'll actually work this crease out and correct the sweep of that tail panel before we get the top fitted. So that's going to be next some of the steps that we're going to do, and then we'll dive deeper into the next video showing you guys how we're going to do all the detailed edges of these tail panels, how we're going to get the form into the flat panel and into the trunk. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, you guys. Smash that like button and please subscribe for future updates. Out.